Here we are, 5th of November, the Guy Fawkes night. Going back to the history is such that the kings and his government and the religion all played a part in the confusion and the destruction of society, the nation, the power struggle, and so on. Here we are, 2020. There is no struggle. The only struggle is that we are all being confined because we were all being unfamiliar how to be unfamiliar how to just be silent for 14 days, not even to speak. The scientists say that you might contaminate and cause the virus to spread. No, pause a little. The Guy Fawkes masks has been used in the last, 15 years, 10 years? To protest internationally against the politicians, the banks, and financial institutions. Has our education been the result of what we are facing across the planet today? The knowledge, was the education relevant for the well-being, health, and consciousness of humanity that we are today on this planet? Or has the education been such they either for the left or for the right? Or did they become separated because of their individual psychological identity? Or is it the academia, the media, and the Hollywood has made them into characters that one has to fit in to the character they're made into in a given societal structure, or they be outcast, or they be protested against? Why haven't we invested our time in being responsible and conscious human beings on the planet today to realistically face the realities that every human being faces on this earth? What the history wrote down, what the scriptures wrote down, is not the reality. It is not the truth. It is not the facts. It is just a psychological logic to fit you into a frame so that you could be framed into that or this. The reality does not confine you to being identified to be something that you are not. You're simply a throbbing life that is here to experience an infinite existence that we all share, as we all call it, the Mother Earth. Yet, nobody is sincere enough to admit that what they know is just a minuscule, a speck of what we know. And what we do not know is the true reality that is causing us tremendous hardship, tremendous problems in this human society we've created around us. It has created an utter and devastating impact on human well-being and on our freedom. Are we not sincere enough as human beings today on this planet to be honest and accountable and responsible individuals, to wake up to the realization that our knowledge is a speck, it's a microspeck to the information and to what we do not know on this planet and this existence. When it comes to our experience, it is limited to how we experience through our five senses. It is limited to the environment and people who connected with us in a given specific time. So when we call it that I believe, that I trust, that what I say is the truth and nothing but the truth, is a way of saying that you know all. But what we really know is what is written down and what is real is a massive, massive distortion in our reality of how we experience life here on earth. Because when it comes to the life, when it comes to the experience of life, the entire experience of the life and the world that you know is a step inward. That who you are and what you are within the experiences you've had. Every other information you received and gathered and stored in your memory, in your brain, in your head, whatever you wish to call it, it's only relevant to that very experience that you've had. So having said all of this, isn't it time that we all raise our consciousness and become individually responsible on this Guy Fawkes night? And instead of blowing out gunpowder, isn't it time that we raise our level of consciousness and become individually responsible and stable enough in our minds, in our bodies, in our energy, in our emotions, and in our directions? Because remember, when you're a human being, your aspirations of life to expand, to know, is throbbing within you. By concluding what you do not know and conclude it as you believe and you trust, is making you feel agitated, frustrated, distraughted, distress, stress, call all the fanciful words you wish. It is simply means that all you know is limited to what you experience in your life. And that said, we can continue to work towards experiencing more by not limiting ourselves to what we know. Receive all and experience all as yourself. You're not exclusive in any way. You're inclusive. Happiness that you are perceiving is a small drop in your palm. The happiness that you can experience as a consequence of you being all is an infinite. And I invite you all on this Guy Fawkes night to raise your level of consciousness and become a responsible individual and be responsible in every step of the way in what you're doing. Don't lead yourself or others in directions in an illusion that you are going to find solutions. The illusions are disillusions that will never take you to the destinations. There's only one place you can find solutions, and that is an inward step in your level of consciousness, in a level of individual responsibility will raise you and enhance you to becoming a human being who can very much see the very real experience of life in any given environment that you are faced. The situations we face on the planet has been in the making for thousands of years. A tiny little adjustment to our logical life can make us realize what we have learned has no importance or significance in our way to exist and continue our lives in a more conscious manner. What is so important for us right now is to raise our level of responsibility as an individual and make this the reality on our planet for all us to come together and embrace the very nature of what life means for us all. And to do that, the very first step is an inward step, and that very inward step will also open up the doorways to immense possibilities as a human being. And we then can be an extension to the life around us. And that extension of life that we become will also generate the trust, the bridge, and inclusiveness amongst all beings here on earth.